Okay, welcome back to the No Idea Racing YouTube channel. This is the second part in our dyno build where we attempt to build a cheap dyno that will hopefully give us some good information like this graph you see in front of you. This is actually from today's testing. You can see we've managed to get ourselves a horsepower and torque graph. There's clearly some issues in that horsepower and torque curve. There's a big hole in the middle, but we've managed to achieve this through today. So let's jump into where it happened and see how it went.
Righto, first test of the Kart Dyno down here at SRF. SRF is the place that did our laser cut flanges and set all that up for us. So we're down here to test it out with Zach from SRF. So far we've got everything set up. We've gone through and applied paste on all our threads. We've got our lines set up. And at the moment we've got our valve completely wide open. So we'll give it a kick in the guts and we'll see if the oil's actually moving by the pump. Alright, so at idle,
So it was at this point I realised the pump created enough drag to engage the clutch and essentially stop the axle spinning. So I had to screw up the idle and it worked.
just got that set like each time. The first one was like 12,000. Oh, out a bit. 13,000. Out a bit. 13 and a half. So I just got the 15 like where cut off I think 16. Yeah. But I think I've set like where I want to be. So it seems to be like just doing what I'm supposed to do.
Okay, so this test was a success. As you can see from looking at the graph, this is downloaded straight off the Micron. The red line is RPM, and every time the valve was opened slightly, the RPM could increase because the load on the engine was lessened. So if we screw the valve in, the load gets bigger. If we screw the valve out, the load gets smaller. So here's a section of the downloaded graph from that run. This time we have, once again, the red is RPM, but we also added a couple of channels to this graph. We've got blue, which is our lambda or air fuel ratio, and our yellow is our coolant temperature. What's important to note is that the peaks of the curves in the red seem to be very similar, indicating that the load on the engine is quite similar and we've achieved a consistent method of testing. Also important is we can see the coolant temperature is spiking up quite quickly, so we need to work out a way to put a fan on the system. If you've liked what you've seen in this episode of our budget dyno build, please make sure you like and subscribe. There's going to be some more episodes on this particular build. Thank you very much.